Well, hey everyone, welcome back to Kitchen Table TCG. Hope you're having yourself a wonderful day. Hey, before you go anywhere, we are getting very close to 5,000 subscribers, and I've already said that we're having a 5,000 subscriber stream on Sunday. So the times are kicking. We're at 4,840. Subscribe, blah, blah, blah. It's going to be fun. Sunday night, all the links and stuff are down in the comment section of this video. 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we'll be streaming to celebrate the 2-year birthday of Flesh and Blood. And then we'll also be celebrating hitting 5,000 subscribers, or 4,840. If that's where we land, that's where we'll land. So let's talk about what set is this? We're doing Arcane Rising. Let's talk about Arcane Rising. Before we get into it, if you want to have access to all this stuff as a collection tracker, head on over to patreon.com/KitchenTableTCG. The Patreon collection tracker updates every time I do a video. You also get access to a 10% off coupon over at Midtown Merchant. So let's hop into it. Let's see what's going on in Arcane Rising land. A lot of interesting stuff happening in Unlimited, so make sure you make sure you hold off to that. Let's talk about first edition stuff though first. For sealed boxes right now, we're seeing boxes sell about 1,900 on the sealed edition front. You've got 1950, 1900, 1900. It's pretty steady actually. There's a sold listing at 2250 earlier this week. I think this will continue to tick up to that price. That one had like a nice little case and stuff too, but it seems like a pretty solid line here at 1900, and it seems like things will start be moving up soon. Hopefully, it seems like we're pretty lined up here. Again, I've been saying this for months. This is a hard cutoff of when they did the print run announcements. We shot up to 4,200. I really think that this is a floor. I'm very, very confident that this is a floor for Flesh and Blood across the board. We'll see what happens. That's just my opinion. Meanwhile, you can get unlimited boxes, unlimited Arcane boxes on TCG Player for about $68. So let's take a look at the Eye of Ophidia. I do know that one sold this week again for 10 grand. Again, that's the same number that we saw right down here, right before the print run announcement, and it shot up to 25 grand, 24 grand, and then we kind of fell back down. And you can see we have been sitting at this price point, been saying it for months. This is the floor. Meanwhile, the Eye, there's some interesting stuff. We'll start this off. We'll give you a little hint of what we're going to talk about when we get to Unlimited. There is some buying out of Unlimited happening. The Unlimited Eye sitting at 195. You've got 200. The heart makes it more apparent. If you actually look up the hearts, but okay, here's like one of them. On the 24th, lots of purchases, and somebody bought 5 of them. And the heart is even more apparent. Actually, the heart, you see like days where somebody's buying up a bunch of them. There's somebody who's buying up a bunch of these. I actually just purchased an Unlimited Eye last night for a deck. But it just seems like the market's starting to dry up on some of this, and it seems like people are starting to spec and think maybe that this is the bottom, the low price that a Fable from an Unlimited set can hit. This all depends on the print run. I know a lot of people are speccing right now that Unlimited is going to go out of print, and that's causing a lot of this, I think. We'll get into it with some of the other cards as well when we talk about Unlimited. First, let's get through first edition. Not a ton of action going on. There was a Skullborn cross wrap that sold for $1,000 over on eBay. Another one sold a couple weeks ago for $1,100, so down a little bit there. There's just nothing on the market. Again, all these price points are sitting about where they were before this big spike happened. This was kind of the timeline where the big spike. The card that hasn't been as affected is the Arknight Skullcamp. You're seeing the same thing for the Tunic, the Fandale Spring Tunic. These generic ones just weren't as affected by the dip, but we saw a huge increase at that print run announcement. So I think that's probably the bottom again for these cards as well. Let's see, you can see it here for the Cold Foil Commons. We're not quite there for the Cold Foil Commons to the bottom yet, but this is right where they started to spike up, and the price beforehand was about $225. We're at an average right now of $252. We're still down 2.5%. A couple of them shooting up. Northern Gloves up 24% to $280. Achilles Accelerator up 300, up 20% to $300. But a lot of downwards pressure too on these. But you can see this average price, we still haven't hit that kind of inflection point that I have personally been talking about. I think maybe just an overreaction to the print run numbers is what happened, and a lot of people are reading that in to be a crash in the market. So we'll see what's going on there. First edition, Majestics, not really anything rainbow foil selling. There was a Mordred Tide that sold on Facebook, and both the buyer and the seller reached out to me and told me. So that sold for $480. Somebody was looking to finish their collection, is what they told me why they bought it. So that sold for $480 for rainbow foil Mordred Tide first edition. Red in the Ledger, there's currently one available on TCG Player for $150, which is down 25%. The rest of the stuff kind of trending down. Command & Conquer's down a little bit. Nothing huge to talk about there. The super rares, nothing happening. And again, we had a huge dip. One seller, you guys remember, one seller sold off a bunch of them, and that dipped the prices way down. But we've got regular also down 9.5% to an average of $7.33. Looking at rainbow foil rares, not really anything to talk about, down a lot, but to $16 is your average. Regular rares at $1 is your average. And rainbow foil commons at $6. You can hit pause on those videos if you want to take a look at some of the things, but not enough to talk about. Let's get to your EV then as we wrap up first edition. Your EV for a box, if you're going to open up 40 boxes and hit the Fable and not include the commons, you're sitting at $1,315. If you're going to do just a case and not hit the Eye of Ophidia, you're sitting at $1,065 per box in a case. But if you're just opening up a box, you're not going to hit a legendary. You will potentially hit the rainbow foil majestic is how this is calculated. On average, you'd be sitting at $663. You can see the legendary takes up a huge slot here. The Fable takes up a huge slot here. The rest of the cards, cold foil common takes up a huge slot, but the rest of the cards don't have a ton of significant add to the EV tracker because they are so hard to pull. They just don't pull as much weight. So let's talk about Unlimited. This is where things start to get spicy and interesting. I want to talk about some things. There's some stuff going on. There are currently only 7 Grasp the Arknights available in all of TCG Player. Look at this. Look at this. Only 4 unlimited Grasp the Arknights available on all of TCG Player. 5 if you include the seller has 2. The rest of them are first edition. It's just crazy. It's just absolutely crazy. You can see sales history. You can see they were, picked up, bought up. They just kind of dried up on the market, and we just ran out of them. It's just crazy that we're talking about potentially Flesh and Blood going OOP. This has been a conversation point on my channel. I know a lot. It's been a conversation point. Let's see what other legendaries. I know Rudy from Alpha Investments has been hinting at it from a long point. If anybody would know that that's a thing, it is Rudy. He would know. So I tend to try to not bet against Rudy. But you can see there's just so few currently on the market for any of these. If it goes out of print, it's going to be kind of crazy for the market, is my gut, my feeling. So just want to highlight that for a second. There's just not that many legendaries on the market it's going to cause. So make sure if you're looking to get a card, if you have some money, if you don't have it, I would pick one up now just in case that does happen. Boundary Heart down to 58. Storm Strider's down to, it's not really down, but it's at 43. And the Cross Wrap is at 40. So that's where those things are. The Majestics Command & Conquer is a great point for this. Like, how do we have $100 Command & Conquers and then go out of print? They have to if they go out of print. LSS, if you go out of print, please tell us when the next Command & Conquer is going to be so that the market doesn't overreact. Tell us when a non-foil unlimited Command & Conquer hits the market again. Please, 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 please. Because the market just won't be able to. I don't know what the solution is. I'm not telling them not to go out of print with it. We talked about it on the podcast this week, but we've got to know when the next Command & Conquer comes, because this doesn't work when your average is 16 and one of them is 100. That also doesn't work. But just ending unlimited, it just seems like it's going to cause craziness in my opinion. So yeah, average is $16. The rainbow foil is down 1% to an average of $21. Super rares, everything's down 24%, 19%. Again, there's so many of these. It's crazy. All right, let's move on then. You can see all these if you want to take a picture, if you want to do whatever you do. And here is the unlimited EV. We're actually kind of ticking up because of the legendaries and the Majestics kind of going up. Legendaries were up 5%, Majestics were up 8%, Fable was up 18%. So if you include those cards, you're up. If you're only opening up one box, you're down. Your average box, if you're opening up 40, will be about $78, which is really good. Again, this is hit or miss though. You're playing Gambling Act, so on 40 boxes, odds are you'll get a decent collation of stuff. But if you're only opening up a case, and 73 is the average, but keep in mind that includes like Command and Conquer and Arcane Soulcap. If you end up hitting a Stormstriders as your legendary and no Command and Conquers in your case, which can very easily happen in a case, you're going to get eight Majestics, and there are 10 Majestics in the set. You're sitting at significantly less than $70 per box. Significantly less. You're talking like $30 a box, because Command and Conquer and Skullcap take up such a big chunk of the run. Which is a great reason to put them in another set and to do other things. So, anyway, moving on. That's kind of where we are right now with the market. Again, if you want to support the channel, head on over to patreon.com/KitchenTableTCG, where you can get access to that collection tracker and the Midtown Merchant discount code. I hope you guys are having a great day. Remember to be kind to the people around you, and we'll talk to you again later in another video.